always do our breath of fire. And then again, you know, of course, I want you to try to go inwards, try to focus inwards. Trying for each pose to find more space. So now that you've kind of advanced and you've gotten a lot of poses down, now in each pose, I want you to try to see where you can make more room or maybe come deeper into the pose. And so, but I want you to do it with just like complete going inside. So, you know, when you're holding a pose, I don't want you to think about where your toes are. I don't want you to think about where your hips are. I want you to think about how can I push more? Where can I find more space? So with our eyes closed, we'll begin with our breath of fire. So inhale deeply, and exhale, and then inhale deeply, and exhale, 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 exhale. Sharp exhalations through the nose. Exhale, exhale, exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale, 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 exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale, 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 exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Take your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. Start to extend your spine up, trying to deepen your breath from your stomach, taking your ribs out to the side, all the way up through your throat, out through your nose. Just start to connect your breath to your body. Start to feel your breath coming in and out through your chest, through the center of your heart. Noticing where your body is today and setting an intention for your practice. May this yoga practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. May this yoga practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. Open your eyes and come to your downward facing dog. Just kind of walk your dog for a minute, just kind of finding some space, seeing where you might be tight or sore, making sure you're gripping the mat so you're not jumping into your wrists, your bridges and domes. Starting to deepen your breath, taking your shoulder blades out, trying to pull your chest to your thighs. Start to deepen your breath. And inhaling through your nose. Open up your mouth inside out. Inhaling deeply through your nose. And open up your mouth inside out. Now keeping that same practice, but with your mouth closed the rest of practice. Trying to constrict your throat, making an audible breath. Stacking all your bones over each other, trying to find stillness in the pose. And then look between your hands and walk between your hands. Woo, check you out. And then inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms pressed together, reaching in opposite directions, trying to reach to the ceiling as you're pressing your heels down through the mat. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, go down to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing, pulling the chest through your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. And then take your heels together, look between your hands, take your knees out wide, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up again, palms pressing together, reaching. And then take a little back bend, pressing forward in your hips. Breathe. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, step or jump back to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking your heels together, bending your knees out wide, look between your hands, step or jump. Inhale, flat back, squeezing in your shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms pressed together. And then exhale, reach over to your right side, pressing over into your left side, and keep reaching up higher as you press over more. Breathe. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale, go over to your left side, pressing over into your right hips. Breathe. Inhale back to center. And exhale all the way down to your forward fold. Inhale, upward facing. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale to a flat back. Pull back into your shoulder blades. And exhale, step or jump back to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Trying to create space, so maybe trying to extend your head further down towards the mat. And hover your knees over the mat a couple of inches as you press back in your down dog arms. Keep pressing back. And then return back to your downward facing dog. Take your forearms down to the mat for dolphin. Pressing back, and then return back to your downward facing dog. Taking your heels together, look between your hands, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms pressed together. Reach. Really try to find space, lengthening in the spine, like somebody's pulling a string on your head. And exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply, touch the floor, reach up. Keeping your knees aligned. Keep trying to sit your back up higher as you sit your butt lower. Breathe. Taking your hands to prayer center. And just take your hands behind you and interlace your fingers behind you, pulling back, really opening up in the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, step or jump back to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Take your right leg up behind you, really kicking back in your heel, flexing the foot, and kicking as you lift higher. Breathe. Now bend your knee and stack your hips, looking underneath your right armpit, And try to take your toes and point them, trying to touch the ground behind you. Just reach, trying to find space. Breathe all through your side ribs. And then flip your dog if it's there for you. Reaching up and over, pressing up in the pelvis. Opening up in your heart, creating space. And then exhale, come back to your three-legged down dog. And take your right knee on the outside of your right elbow. And back. Right knee to your left elbow and twist. Pulling your hands back towards your toes and back. Step your right foot between your hands, anchoring your back foot at a 45. Making sure that your knee doesn't go past your ankle. You want to try to keep them stacked. And then your toe is facing forward. And she's pressing back in her back heel, really firing up her quads, using her core and her legs to twist her body. Hands to palm center, or hands up over your head. Pressing in your palms, trying to straighten your arms, reaching up. So it's like we're pulling her up as we're pressing her down. And then she's twisting, really firing up in the legs, coming forward just a little bit more, finding more space. And then exhale, come to your warrior two. So your back foot is parallel with your mat, so straight. And then coming forward more in your knee and taking your toes out just a little bit more to get more hip opening. Trying to take that knee out. Coming down, arms up, breathe. And then reach forward and reverse your warrior. Keeping that bend in the front knee. And then straighten out your front leg. Reach forward, squeezing your legs together. Come, take your hand down, and then you're going to look up at your left hand, and it's going to be like somebody's trying to pull you up as you're squeezing your legs apart and twisting. Inhale back to your warrior two from your triangle, coming back into your knee. Take your elbow on the inside of your right knee, twisting, take your hand up and over. So from one solid line all the way down from her heel, all the way up as she's reaching forward and pressing in that heel, twisting in her elbow, pressing into that knee, opening up in the hips. Breathe. And then inhale back to your warrior two. And then circle your arms down to your half push-up. One exhalation all the way down. Inhale, upward facing. Pulling your chest through your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Connecting with your breath again. Take your left foot up. Trying to straighten that leg and press back in your back heel as much as you can. Breathe as you lift your leg higher. And then bend your knees and stack your hips, looking underneath your left armpit this time. Really twisting, getting that stack of the hips. And then if it's there for you, flip your dog today, reaching up and over. And then coming back to your downward facing dog with three legs, your three-legged down dog. Kicking that leg back up higher again, straightening your leg. Take your left knee to your left elbow on the outside and hold, pulling your hands back and go back. Left knee to your right elbow and twist and pulling your hands back towards your feet and back. Using your core, look between your hands, step your right foot between your hands. Nice. Anchoring your back foot at a 45, keeping the whole foot down and and pressing back in that back heel. You want your whole foot down and it's leaning forward, really firing up your quadriceps. Nice. Coming forward, using your core and your legs to twist, hands to palm, hands pressed together, and keep reaching up as you sink lower down. Keep pressing in this back heel, coming lower. And then exhale to your warrior two, taking your back foot parallel with your mat and taking your toes out just a little bit, really getting hips open, arms up. And then reach forward and reverse your warrior, keeping that bend in the front knee good. And then straighten out your front leg, using your legs to squeeze together. Reach down and come into your triangle, looking up at your right hand. Trying to get the twist there. And then exhale back to your warrior two. Coming forward in your knee. Taking your left arm on the inside of your left knee, pressing your knee open as you reach your arm up and over, palm facing down. She's reaching and pressing forward from one line all the way here, really breathing in your side ribs. And she's twisting her torso up, pressing into her knee. And then return back to your warrior two and circle your arms all the way down to your vinyasa through. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Reconnecting with your body and your breath. Take your heels together. Look between your hands, step or jump. Inhale, flat back, pull back in your shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees deeply, touch the floor, reach up. Keep trying to work that back up higher as you sit lower. Do a little tuck in your pelvis and just sit lower, trying to take your back up higher and forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, go down to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Using your core, take your right foot and step between your hands, anchoring your left foot up. So right foot steps between your hands, and then this foot stays up. Come up into your crescent lunge, palms together, pressing your pelvis forward. Breathe. Keeping this back leg straight and strong. Take your hands to prayer center. Take your elbow on the outside of your right knee and twist. Trying to bring your palms to prayer center. Breathe. Find space. Try to find a point that you can gaze on to help with your balance. This is a very test of balance here. Inhale, exhale, twist. And then exhale, take your hands down on either side of your foot, leaving your back foot up, and try to come down more. Keeping that back foot popped up. Taking your right hand on the inside of your right foot, and twist, looking up at your left hand. Opening up in the hips, shoulders. And then exhale, take your hand back down to the mat, taking it in front of your foot and twisting on the other side. Left, yep. And twist. And then taking your foot down, your hand back down, and go ahead and take your knee down to the mat. And just try to come up for just a few seconds onto the top of your foot. And then if you can try to come up on your knee, and you can put some weight up here, not on your knee, but on the fatty part up here. Just try to come up onto the top of your foot, working our ankle. It's an acquired feeling. And breathe. Lower down. Bending that back leg, reach back with your left hand and grab the top of your foot. So we're getting into her knee and trying to build up strength in her knees. We're also, no, you're good. Hips, opening up in the quads. And then release. Then go ahead and take your right shoulder behind your knee. So your right shoulder comes underneath and presses your knee forward. And so you can keep your knee down, or you can take it up, yes. And just start to press forward. Really opening up in the hips. And then release, coming back up into your crescent lunge. And then exhale all the way down to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking your left foot and step between your hands, leaving your back foot up. Kind of like we just did crescent lunge. So yeah, step your left foot through. And then anchor that back foot up, reaching up into your crescent lunge. Breathe. Coming more forward. See how high her heel is up? That is so much better. Really opening up in the hips. She's done so good. So proud of you. Couldn't even sit Indian style when she started. And then exhale all the way down, hands to prayer center. Sorry. And then exhale, take your right elbow on the outside of your left knee and twist. Again, trying to find a spot to focus on, helping with your balance. And you see how much she's working her ankles and her feet here, her shins, trying to build up those muscles, stability. Breathe. Then inhale, exhale, twist one more time, and then take both hands down on the opposite side of your foot, taking your left hand on the inside of your left foot and twist. Good. Breathe. And then switch arms, taking that hand down, and then twist on the other side. Breathe. And then coming back down, taking your left shoulder on the underneath back of your knee and just start to press forward. And you can lower your knee if you need to. And then release, taking your knee down, come up. And then kick your foot back, reach back with your right hand and grab the top of your foot. It looks easy, but it's not. This is not an easy pose. It's quite painful. Good. Trying to find more space. Where can you press more? Can you pull through the pelvis? Can you extend in your spine? Can you opening your shoulder more. The lower. And then popping back up into your crescent lunge. And then exhale all the way down to your half push-up. One exhalation all the way down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths. Trying to make your breath audible, constricting in the back of the throat. Taking your heels together, look between your hands, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Take your feet about hip width distance. And trying to pull your chest as close to your knees as you can. So bend your knees deeply here. And grabbing your big toes with your peace fingers, using your core to pull your chest down onto your thighs. Inhale, look up, pull up. And then exhale, fold down, trying to pull your head down to the mat. Using our core to keep our body as close to our legs as possible, leaning the weight into the front ball mounds of your feet, and internally rotating our feet, sending our tailbone up to the ceiling. By doing this, it activates our tailbone and sends it a little bit higher, opening more. And turn your head yes and no. Releasing in our neck and shoulders. See how her shoulders aren't up here. She's got her shoulders pulled down and her head is relaxed. She's probably got her jaw clenched though, I bet. So release your jaw. And then bend your knees deeply, look up, and take your hands all the way underneath where you're stepping on your wrists. Trying to give your wrists a little massage there. And then one more time, inhale, look up, pull. And then exhale, forward fold. Trying to pull your chest through your legs. Leaning the weight onto the front ball mounds of your feet where it feels like your heels are going to come up off the mat. It feels like you're going to fall forward almost. You can go side to side, just kind of releasing in our lower back. And turning your head yes, no. And then release your hands and slowly take them up to your hips. And then slowly, 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 slowly come up. And taking your right foot forward, your back foot's going to be anchored out just a little bit. And you're just about half the stance that you normally are in like a warrior. And so just depending on your legs, yeah. And then if you can, reverse prayer behind your back or opposite elbows. Good, good. And so now that you're in reverse prayer, yeah, you want to make sure your elbows come off. And then you're squeezing your legs, so you're squeezing them in opposite directions. And it's like I'm pulling your head forward. So you're going to inhale and squeeze your legs and start to lower down, trying to extend in your spine. Squeezing your legs, keeping your back straight. So if one leg is stronger than the other, she'll start to be cattywampus and she won't have just a flat back right here. She's having to really squeeze in her legs here to make sure she's not losing balance on one side or the other. She's trying to bring her heart to her ankle. And it's more about extending in her spine than her going in low. So we're really trying to get a spinal extension here. And then inhale, come halfway up. And then take your left hand on the outside of your right foot and twist. And you can keep this hand back on your lower back to make sure that you haven't lost integrity in your pelvis. And so start to twist and try to look up. Breathe, squeezing in your legs, squeezing your legs apart. Come back up and switch legs. Very good. And then again, you're taking your legs and you're squeezing them in opposite directions, really really getting a spinal extension and trying to lean forward with your hands in reverse prayer. Reverse prayer is pretty hard, so you have to have your hands up here and they're in reverse, and then you pull your arms off your shoulder blades. So she's got a lot going on already back here. Now she's squeezing in her legs and start to go forward, extending in her spine like I've got a string on the top of her head, and I'm trying to pull her head forward. And she's really having to squeeze her legs. So you can see her legs working really hard here. She's having to squeeze in opposite direction to make sure she doesn't come off balance. Good focus. And then inhale, come halfway up, taking your right hand on the outside of your left foot and twist and look up. She's touching the floor here. That's pretty intense. So that's very, very good. She's got her palm to the floor. This is very, very difficult. So usually we'll be up here or on the outside of our foot or a block. So she's got her palm all the way on the floor if you can't see it. It's pretty intense. So breathe. And then slowly coming back up. Now take your legs a little bit wider and your feet are going to go forward. So go ahead and come this way. And then feet forward. And then interlace your fingers, your hands behind you, keeping your palms together. And then inhale, press down with your hands, and inhale, open your heart. And exhale, fold down, trying to use your core to pull your chest through your legs. And again, we're leaning the weight onto the front ball mounds of our feet. We're not moving our feet, but we're getting the sensation of internally rotating them. Again, sending our tailbone up higher, opening more in our lower back, our pelvis, our hips, everything. She's opening up in the shoulders. There's a lot going on here. And then inhale, come back up, straight back. And then inhale, look up, release the hands, and exhale, folding back down, taking your hands down to the mat, trying to match your palms up with your heels. So walking your palms back to line up with your heels, and then start to pull your head through. Again, leaning the weight onto the front ball mounds of your feet, internally rotating, and keep trying to pull your chest through, coming into your chaturanga, your half push-up arms. And with each inhale and exhale, she's trying to find more space and pushing her hands away from her feet, trying to pull her chest down more through her legs. Breathe. And then inhale, flat back, come all the way up. Exhale, sit down into your yoga squat. Pressing your knees out, extending your spine up, trying to take your butt down lower to the mat and breathe. Taking your right hand on the outside of your right foot, so she's going in front of her shin on the outside of her foot, and twist, trying to sit your butt down lower. As you can see, there's quite a bit opening here. And then coming back to your yoga squat again, trying to take your butt lower, pressing your knees out. Left hand comes on the outside of your left foot. Twist and look up. And then coming back to your yogi squat, taking your hands down in front of you. And we're going to do our chaturanga, which are half push-up arms. So the eyeballs of our elbows are going to actually come forward because they're going to come back. And then she's gonna pop up onto her toes, leaving her butt down. And then start to squeeze her elbows behind her arms. And she's making like a little shelf back there. She starts to lean forward in her half push-up arms. And this takes a lot of core here. So she's gonna try to lean her weight into her arms with core and focus. And start to lift each foot up. Coming back down to your yoga squat, pressing out again. And then again, going into our crow, taking our hands down, squeezing our mat, leaning our weight forward onto the back of our arms. See how she's creating a shelf on the back of her arms there, but it's mostly core that she has to use to lift her legs up. Very good control, and lower down. And then coming back to the front of your mat, coming down into your downward facing dog. Give me 5 donkey kicks. She doesn't like these. They're so good for her though. And make sure you have to have really good core to make sure your landing is very soft in these. Good. Ooh. Not soft. Good. Taking your heels together and bending your knees. Yes. Yes. Nice soft sand landing. You don't realize the amount of core you have to make your landing extremely soft when you're taking your body up at that speed. And then go ahead and come to your child's pose. So taking your knees out really, really wide, toes touch. Taking your knees out wide and then come forward a little bit, letting your hips open up just a little bit more. And then pressing back, pressing away from your face, pressing your butt back towards your heels. Breathe. Catch your breath. Those take a lot of breath out of you. Back up to your down dog. Taking your heels together, knees out wide, look between your hands, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, palms pressed together. Exhale, hands down by your side. Taking your right foot on the inside of your right leg, pressing your heel into your thigh and your thigh into your heel. Coming into our tree position. Good. Pressing forward in your pelvis. Interlace your hands. Coming up. Find one spot to focus on while you're going up. And then growing your tree and slowly start to take your gaze up towards the ceiling, testing your balance. And then hands back to prayer center and release, switch sides. Left foot comes on the inside. So we never want to, if you can't get it all the way up here, you don't ever want to put it on your knee. You always want it down or up. More about the balance than where your foot is. And then interlacing your hands, coming up, slowly starting to take your gaze up to the ceiling, growing your tree. Now start to take a back bend until you fall out. Just keep bending back until you fall. Nice. Getting a little spontaneity in there. Again, inhaling, hands, palms up. Your favorite pose. Right hand comes underneath your left. I know you'll love this one. You'll love it. You'll love it. And shoulders up, and then hands away from your face, and then pull back into your shoulder blades. And then squeezing your legs together. She's going to lift her right leg up and over and start to sit back. The more that she squeezes in her legs, the more stable she'll become. Again, finding one spot to focus on your drishti. And taking your elbows down to your knee. Unwrapping your bound leg and sending it behind you for airplane, or warrior 3. Keeping your hips squared to the mat. Unwrap your arms and reach forward, palms facing each other. Keeping your hips squared to the mat and breathe. And then take your left hand down to the mat, stacking your hips. And a lot of times you can use a block here. That much help. I don't want to give you that much help. So again, hips are forward, and then you're reaching forward, and then you're stacking your hips on top of each other. And then slowly start to take your gaze up towards your hand. Keep pressing in your back heel. It helps keeping you stable. Breathe. And then exhale, take your both hands down to the mat. Take your leaving your back leg up. Your right hand down, take your left hand up and twist. Keep trying to lift this leg higher, pressing in your heel. Take your left hand back down to the mat, walking your hands back to your standing split. She loves this one. So let's see, you're on which foot are you on? Left? Okay, so you're walking your hands back, trying to lift your right leg up, pulling your hands towards your foot, trying to grab your ankle if you can, really testing your balance. And each inhale and exhale, pull your head down more, lift your leg higher. Yeah. And then inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, take your left arm underneath your right. Hands away from your face, shoulders up. Pull back in your shoulder blades, squeezing your legs together. Take your left leg up and over. Start to sit down and back. The more she squeezes her arms and her legs, the more stable she'll be. Taking your elbows all the way down. Unwrap your leg and send your leg out behind you. Reaching your arms forward, palms facing each other. Kicking in opposite directions, trying to straighten that back leg. Breathe. Right hand down to the mat, stacking your hips on top of each other, reaching up, taking your gaze up to your hand, which really tests your balance, and then slowly release, taking that hand back to the mat and twisting, coming on the other side, looking up at your other hand. That back leg coming up more and more. Breathe. Go ahead and forward fold. Start to walk your hands down, back, lifting that right leg up higher, or whatever opposite leg we're on. Hey. Keep kicking that leg up. And forward fold. And then come down to your mat. So there are 26 poses in Ashtanga, and this is like the first series. And so we're going through all 26 poses, which is what. So let me mean it. And so go ahead and come down, and you're gonna come up to your shoulder stand. So trying to get your hips up over your shoulder, and make sure you look directly up. You don't turn your head, and you keep walking your hands down your back more and more, trying to take your feet up higher, squeezing in your legs. Keep trying to walk your hands down, trying to tuck your elbows more and more in. Taking your legs up high, squeezing them together. Good if you have low energy to get into a shoulder stand. Then take your feet forward onto the tops of your toes into a plow, stretching in our lower back. So try to come onto the top of your toes. It's a little bit more difficult to be on the top than it is with your toes tucked, but it gets more done quicker. I'm all about the express route. Then taking your knees to your ears for ear pressure pose. I'm looking at my own ass, do you mind? And then slowly lower vertebrae by vertebrae. Nice. Hugging your knees into your chest. Rock and roll 3 times. So you're rocking up and back. Trying to get more each time. And then come forward, legs extended out, and just fold over to your legs. Don't have to get anywhere, just a sloppy fold. We're always doing counterbalances. So just breathe. And then go ahead and come back onto your back. Tucking your heels to your butt as much as you can. Taking your shoulders underneath behind your back, trying to reach and grab your ankles. Keep tucking them, trying to keep walking those heels back, and you want to make sure your knees are facing forward, and you don't want your legs to splay out, you want them forward. She's trying to bring her chest to her chin, not her chin to her chest. And you should see some belly breathing here. This is what we want. And then she's going to take her hands up underneath her shoulders, fingertips facing forward. And then just pop up onto your head. And then if she can press all the way up. And this is where we want you to hold as much as you can. Try to control the breath and breathe. This is where we control our mind. This is where we get the discipline from yoga, is when we're in the hardest poses ever. This is when we stay. When we want to go, that's when we stay longer. Breathe. This is very difficult, and she's going to hurt me later. And breathe. And slowly lower. Good job. Pulling your knees into your chest. And rocking on your back a little bit. And then one more time, taking her heels down to the mat. Take her fingertips under her shoulders. I'm going to get hurt later, I promise you. And then coming up onto the top of your head. Pressing all the way up. Now, where can you deepen this pose? Can you take a leg up? Try to touch your head to the mat. Good. Breathe. Switch legs. Very good. And then slowly start to lower down. Very nice. Sit with your palms of your feet together, knees out wide. Just relax for a second, catching your breath. This does kind of take your breath away. And so we're always trying to control breathing with our mouth closed the entire practice, trying to control, even when our breath is out of control, we're trying to control it. Slowly coming back up to seated, coming onto your knees. Interlacing your fingers in front of you, taking them down to the mat. You got this, girl. The only time you fall is when you think about it. So do not think about it. Do not overthink it. So hands are squeezed together. Then you're going to take your hairline right in front of your fingertips. Squeezing your head, taking your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. We want to make sure we got everything tucked in. The more out we are, the more unstable we are. We always want stacking in yoga. And then she's going to take her shoulder blades out and down. So come up into your downward facing dog legs. Until see how everything is stacked. So maybe squeeze your head and come back in. I know I had to pick a day when you have braids, huh? Now you got to really be stable. Really squeezing your head, taking your elbows down, squeezing it. She's pressing into her elbows. Her shoulder blades are going to come out and down. So we're working on the stabilizer muscles back here in our shoulders. And a downward facing dog legs. And then slowly start to walk forward. So just gonna yeah, if your hands get slippery, yeah. It's a little warm in here. Oh, you want the chalk? Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Her perfectionist, coming out. We're working on it. And then coming up into your downward dog legs and start to walk your legs forward. So what we're trying to get here is see how her hips are stacking over her shoulders. We want that even more. Woo. All right? Yeah. And it does kind of hurt your hands until you kind of get used to it. But with any new thing, it's always going to hurt. And she hasn't done this very many times. She's doing awesome. And then coming up into your downward dog legs. And she's barely got any pressure. So she starts here on her hairline, and then as she walks forward, she's just going to be maybe 1 or 2 inches on the front of her skull, not on the very top. She's using a lot of support in her hands to press down in her hands and her shoulders, her elbows. Keep walking forward. And then she'll take one knee in and then switch legs. And then if she can take both knees in and breathe. And some days our bodies are willing to do what we tell it to, and some days it's not. Very good. Breathe. And then slowly lower down. Good job. That was all you, girl. And then go ahead and come back down to your child's pose one more time, pressing back, taking your head onto the mat. And then slowly coming onto your back. Body as heavy as you can in the mat, opening up your palms, receiving your practice today, letting your legs flop open, relaxing your jaw, your face, trying to empty out your mind here, not trying to go over your day or the practice or what you should have said or what you didn't say. Stop all that mind chatter and just relax. Your final resting pose of Shavasana.